sound off on the recent Supreme Court decisions. And Southeast Ohio joins the country to celebrate America's independence. We have a look at events in our area. Newswatch starts right now. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine is reviewing the $86 billion state budget. Good evening, I'm Morgan Anderson. Welcome to Newswatch. The proposal passed through the Ohio legislature Friday. Here are some of the provisions that made it out of conference committee. The Senate's $3.1 billion in tax cuts, a proposal to strip power from elected members of the state school board in exchange for more K-12 public school funding. The Senate's plan to expand the private school Ed Choice voucher program to any family that wants them. DeWine's proposal to verify age and parental consent for social media users under 16. And the creation of a nonprofit corporation for $1.1 billion in opioid settlement money. DeWine has final say and can veto any section of the budget. He's expected to sign the bill after the July 4th holiday. Voters in Ohio have until next Monday to register for the August 8th special election. Those who have not registered yet can get registration forms at public libraries, the Bureau of Motor Vehicles, or the Board of Election offices. Registration is also open at voteohio.gov. The election will determine whether any future proposed Constitution amendments will pass with 60% support instead of 50%. Early voting will begin next Tuesday. Muskingum University is receiving the Appalachian Collegiate Research Initiative grant. The grant is funded by the Appalachian Regional Commission and helps students develop and execute field-based research projects addressing the unique economic development needs of their communities. Muskingum University is the only institution in Ohio that has received the Appalachian Collegiate Research Initiative grant. The award, funded by ARC, was given to 13 other institutions from 10 other states. At Muskingum University, students will work with new Concord officials to conduct an assessment on improving the city's needs. 86 acres of farmland has been added to the Ohio Department of Agriculture Farmland Preservation Program. Kelvin and June Putnam's farm in Ross County is now the 14th farm to join the program this year. The Farmland Preservation Program is an agreement between the landowners and ODA. Under the program, landowners maintain the land for agricultural use. Since 1968, the Farmland Preservation Program has entered into agreement with nearly 700 farms. An invasive moth species has been spotted in Ohio for the first time. The U.S. Department of Agriculture says a box tree moth was spotted near the border of Hamilton and Claremont County. Box tree moths are destructive to boxwood plants, and sightings should be reported. If you see boxwood moths with chewed leaves, cuts, missing leaves, yellowing or brown leaves, white webbing, or if you see black waste on the plant, box tree moths are the culprit. The moths have white bodies, brown heads, and white wings with a brown border. To report sightings, go to the ODA's Ohio Plant Pest Reporter Survey. A recall order has been issued on hot dogs sold in cities throughout Ohio. 3,204 pounds of fully cooked hot dogs by Purdue Premium Meat Company have been recalled by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. The USDA Food Safety and Inspection Service says the office has received complaints of misbranding and an undisclosed allergen. The customer received vacuum-sealed packages that were labeled as beef wieners instead of smoked sausages. The smoked sausages contained milk allergen and not listed on the beef hot dog label. You're taking a live look outside at College Street on what has been a muggy day here in Athens. It is so humid outside, and with the 4th of July being tomorrow, I'm worried about how this weather could affect my firework watching plans. So in that case, we're bringing in lead forecaster Emily Dietz to tell us more on what we need to know before shooting off fireworks tonight and tomorrow. Emily, what can we expect?
Yeah, so we're seeing a lot of humid weather right now, and that's been from a lot of the rain we've been seeing. And right now it might actually be raining outside or pretty close to raining, but that's just going to be a quick pop-up shower, and that's what we're expecting to see later tonight, even if that happens. So we're seeing small stuff happen along the southwest part of Ohio, and that might not even move in. So it'll be pretty clear tonight, or not clear, but clear of rain and just cloudy skies. But right now, taking a look outside, it's about 82 with mostly cloudy skies. We're expecting a little bit of rain to come in here in the next couple of minutes, but that'll be a very brief shower, and that's very similar to what we've seen a lot of the day. Earlier today, we've had a lot of pop-up showers moving through southwest Ohio, and that's just very brief 5-minute little rain showers. A lot of that's from this low pressure system that moved through the area, and we can see a little bit of rain right behind us, but that isn't likely to hit us tonight. So all the fireworks we're expecting will hopefully go on without any rain delays. Now, this low pressure system currently sitting over Ohio is really fueling a lot of the rain that we've been seeing. This low pressure mixed with the humid air, mixed with the warm weather, allows for convection to happen. And since this is starting to move away from us, we're not seeing the bulk of that rain anymore. We're really just seeing the pop-up showers left behind by those clouds. But taking a look behind it, we see some high pressure that's going to be moving in towards the east tomorrow. So happy 4th of July. Things are going to be clearing up. But tonight it'll be partly cloudy out, still pretty muggy, about 66 low. So if you're going to enjoy some fireworks tonight, make sure you dress appropriately because it'll still be warm out, even though it's going to be in the 60s. Now we see a lot of cloud movement going on here. Our system is really pushing towards the east, and this is going to show us what's going to be happening tomorrow. So tomorrow morning, we're going to see the clouds that we're currently seeing in Indiana. It's going to be a bit of a cloudy morning, pretty muggy outside, but we're not expecting any rain. Any rain that's going to be happening will be happening overnight tonight, and that's extremely unlikely for a big shower. It'll just be pop-up if anything. And even behind that, we're looking at clear skies because we have that high pressure that's going to be moving in, clearing things up. And by about 3 o'clock, that's when we're going to see most of this clearing happen, and also when we're going to see our UV index at its highest. And that'll be about an 8. So if you're going to be outside, make sure you're staying hydrated and wearing plenty of sunscreen. So throughout the morning and the afternoon, partly cloudy skies are expected. By about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, we're going to see a lot more sunshine. So it's going to be a great day to watch some fireworks, get outside, and enjoy a barbecue.
Thanks, Emily. Independence Day is tomorrow, and with that comes the 28th annual Thunder in the Valley Fireworks Spectacular in Nelsonville. Kicking off at 5 p.m. tomorrow at Hocking College, guests will be treated to live music, food, vendors, and of course, the fireworks show. Shuttle buses will carry guests to the 25-minute fireworks show, accompanied by music playing from 107.7 FM. The event is organized by the volunteer workers at the Nelsonville Fire Department and is mainly funded by community donations. With concerns of a rain check stopping the fun, Nelsonville Fire Chief Harry Barber says not to worry.
We have always taken a lot of pride in the fact that we have had the show on the 4th every year. If we have a rain delay, we will wait for a period of time. If that weather clears and it's safe to shoot, we will shoot, whether it's 10 o'clock or 10:30.
The fireworks show has up to 23 sponsors from around the area. As for other ways to celebrate America's birthday, the Athens fireworks start tonight at 10 p.m. at East State Street Park. Accompanying music to the fireworks will be on Power 105.5 FM. Both today and tomorrow is the River Rec Festival in Gallipolis, featuring musical performances and fireworks tomorrow night. Tomorrow, the July 4th Freedom Run takes place at Ohio University Zanesville at 9 a.m. and raises money for Muskingum Behavioral Health. Finally, the 4th of July parade in Marietta will take place at 10 a.m. If you plan on buying fireworks and celebrating at home this year, Mandy Gaither has more on what you need to know about fireworks and how to stay safe this Independence Day.
From bottle rockets to aerial fireworks, fun can turn dangerous in an instant if the explosive devices aren't properly used.
Last year, we had at least 11 deaths associated with it and over 10,000 trips to the emergency room with fireworks-related injuries.
The Consumer Product Safety Commission says many of those hurt by fireworks in the month around July 4th last year were children, with sparklers accounting for about 600 of ER visits. 38% of the injuries were burns, with hands, fingers, head, face, and ears most often hurt.
Fireworks aren't toys and they're not for children. They're burning at 2,000 degrees, it's like a blowtorch.
If you plan to set off your own fireworks, experts say to first make sure that they're legal in your area. Keep a bucket of water or hose handy in case of a fire. Light fireworks one at a time, then move back quickly. Never try to relight or pick up fireworks that haven't fully ignited, and never use fireworks when under the influence.
That's actually where we see a lot of the injuries and deaths associated with fireworks.
Experts say the safest way to enjoy fireworks is to leave them to the professionals. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The Consumer Product Safety Commission also says to beware of illegal fireworks. The agency says last year about 43% of fireworks tested by their researchers were found to contain illegal parts which could severely hurt people. Coming up after the break, how recent rulings from the Supreme Court will affect future generations. Plus, new details from police in a shooting in Baltimore, Maryland.
Even though we might be seeing a little rain over the area right now, that is going to clear up nicely tonight and into tomorrow. When we return, I'll have more on the weather we can expect this week.
Welcome to the age of humans.
These guys didn't sprout wings, we brought them here.
Horses, they're not native.
They're not native.
Just got smacked by a car.
We have one chance to stop that movement.
It is an integral part of our story.
Do you consider humans an invasive species?
It's absolutely the most invasive of all species.
Yeah.
Wednesday at 9 on WOUB.
America's top critics are raving about the new film from Ken Burns, the most ambitious, culturally resonant music documentary ever made.
Country music is truth-telling.
A fascinating journey, illuminating and engrossing.
Country music comes from right in here.
Hugely entertaining, a joyful celebration.
It has something in it for everybody.
From director Ken Burns, country music.
Thursday at 9 on WOUB.
This is the closest we'll get to an alien on Earth. Octopuses couldn't be more different from us, but is a connection possible?
You look at them and you feel like they're looking back. That's not an illusion. They are looking back.
One man will find out. He'll bring an octopus into his home and introduce her to the family.
Well, now she's filming me.
Hi, Heidi.
Wednesday at 8 on WOUB.
This July 4th, join me, Alfonso Ribeiro, as I host America's National Independence Day celebration, A Capital 4. With Chicago, Boyz II Men, Belinda Carlisle, Renee Fleming, Babyface, Charles Eston, Muppets of Sesame Street, A Beautiful Noise, the Neil Diamond Musical, and the greatest live fireworks display in the USA. Live from the U.S. Capitol, it's A Capital 4. Premieres Tuesday, July 4th, 8, 7 Central on PBS, the PBS app, and PBS YouTube channel.
The Supreme Court ended a blockbuster term with several dramatic decisions that are likely to reverberate through much of the country, especially in higher education. From affirmative action to student debt relief, the new rulings are all raising questions about the real-world implications. Mike Valerio explains what these critical decisions could mean for you.
As the proverbial dust settles around the United States Supreme Court following a contentious term, the immediate consequences for everyday Americans are becoming more clear.
The Roberts Court these days is more eager to overturn older precedents than any court we've had, at least probably in the last century.
In striking down affirmative action programs at Harvard and the University of North Carolina, the court effectively determined colleges and universities can no longer expressly consider race in the admissions process.
It prevents our higher education institutions from using a tool that helps promote diversity on campus.
And while the court suggests the impact of an applicant's race in their life can still be taken into consideration, and proponents of ending affirmative action say it makes the process more fair, many fear diversity in higher education will suffer in the long term.
I'm very concerned about the morale that that's going to have on our minority youth.
For those who are already in or have gone to college, the court also struck down President Biden's student loan debt cancellation program, a win for Republican-led states and conservatives who claimed it was illegal.
We're talking about 40 million Americans that are going to be crushed by debt
in just a few months.
As the administration works to find a new approach to debt relief, the 3-year pause on loan repayment started during the pandemic is soon expiring. Borrowers will have to resume paying their federal student loans in October, with interest set to begin accumulating again in September. The White House says, however, it will offer a 12-month on-ramp period for borrowers who are re-entering payment. I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
The Biden administration is moving forward with plans for Medicare to negotiate directly with drug makers, despite several lawsuits. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, or CMS, released new guidance for the program, including how the agency will select the first set of medications. CMS will announce the first 10 drugs selected for negotiation by September 1st. Then Medicare and drug makers will begin negotiations. The agreed upon prices will be effective in 2026. 2 pharmaceutical companies and 2 industry groups have filed lawsuits arguing the program is unconstitutional. In a statement, the Secretary for the Department of Health and Human Services, Xavier Becerra, said, quote, "won't be deterred."
Good evening and happy Monday. I hope everyone enjoyed this really muggy weekend. Right now it's about 82 and we're looking at partly cloudy skies. There's a little bit of rain actually moving into the area, but that'll be a very, very brief rain shower. Just a lot of pop-up rain showers going on right now. Today we saw a high of about 82. We saw a 90% chance of showers, once again just pop-ups as a result of some low pressure moving away from the area. Now these storms aren't really sitting in Ohio that much, just a little bit of rain and kind of sitting near southeast Ohio as well. But by the time they make their way over to southeast Ohio, we shouldn't really be seeing any rain associated with them, just some cloud coverage. So tonight, if you're planning on viewing any fireworks or being outside and enjoying this July 3rd, you should be clear for any rain after this upcoming hour. Now, this low pressure system that's sitting over Ohio has been fueling a lot of the rain that we've been seeing, but majority of the system is making its way out to the east, so we'll just be seeing a little bit of cloud coverage remaining from this, and we're looking at this high pressure sitting right behind it to come in tomorrow and clear things up quite nicely for the 4th. So tonight we'll see partly cloudy skies with a low of 66, and once again it's still going to be pretty muggy outside. We have a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. This is our relative humidity chart right here that you're viewing right now, and we're sitting about an 80 into the 70s right now, so it's pretty muggy outside since we've had a lot of rain, a lot of cloud coverage going on. Now tomorrow we're going to see a little bit of this humidity hang around, but since we have this high pressure going in and that high pressure is going to bring in some of this warm weather, it'll clear it up just a little bit, but not too much, so still expect it to be pretty humid outside. Now fortunately, with this high pressure, that warm weather, we won't be seeing anything up near the 99 or 100 degree range, but it'll still be pretty warm outside, and our heat index could be in the mid 90s. It'll be pretty warm outside. And even though this chart, right now, we are looking at a UV index tomorrow of possibly sitting around an 8. At around 3 o'clock, and that's when most of our cloud coverage is going to go away. So in the morning time, in the early afternoon, we'll still be seeing some cloud coverage, but by 3 o'clock, that's when we're going to start to see a lot of the sunshine. So make sure if you're outside, even though this says a high of about 86, it's still going to be pretty hot outside since there's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. It's going to make it harder for your sweat to evaporate, cooling you off. Now tomorrow that high pressure is going to come in quite nicely. We see a little bit of cloud coverage in the morning, but we have a lot of clearing right behind it, and that's going to set us up nicely for Wednesday as well. So these next 2 days are going to be pretty warm outside, not too much rain expected or too much cloud coverage, but on Wednesday it's going to warm up into the 90s and on Thursday as well. But Thursday we have a little bit of a low pressure system developing out to the west, and that's going to start to make its way in, which is why we're seeing that 60% chance of thunderstorms. That's going to carry on into Friday, and we see a drop in temperatures that day down to about 82 since there's a cold front associated with that. Now this weekend so far isn't looking too rainy, which is nice since we've had a lot of rainy weekends so far, but it's too early to tell. So have a great 4th of July.
Thanks, Emily. Police in Baltimore, Maryland are searching for suspects after a deadly mass shooting at a neighborhood block party over the weekend. 2 people were killed, another 28 injured. Ivan Rodriguez reports on the latest of the investigation.
A beloved annual block party turned into a chaotic mass shooting early Sunday, killing 18-year-old Alaya Gonzalez and 20-year-old Kailas Fagbemi. Police say the 28 others injured were mostly teenagers ranging in age from 13 to 19.
Couldn't believe the numbers.
it was frightening.
Baltimore police say at least 2 shooters were involved and are working to determine whether more people were firing. Monday morning, officials say they have yet to determine a motive and are still figuring out if victims were targeted or shot at indiscriminately. Mayor Brandon Scott says the investigation won't end until the shooters are under arrest.
We won't stop until we find those responsible and hold them accountable.
Baltimore police are searching a crime scene spanning several blocks and looking through hours of surveillance footage. Officials also urging community members to come forward with any relevant information that could help in the investigation.
We have only touched some of the video that's out there. Everyone had their cameras working, had their phones working, and there's much more video out there.
As the city comes together to pray for the victims of this latest mass shooting, community leaders are asking for the violence to end.
And as a community, once and for all, let's come together and stop this senseless killing.
Reporting for Newswatch, I'm Ivan Rodriguez in Atlanta.
After the break, 2 major strikes underway in the U.S., affecting travelers and the entertainment industry. To stay up to date on the latest from Newswatch, check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
So close, but so mysterious.
Venus, Earth's less fortunate twin. And today, a scorched hellscape. What went wrong? And are we next?
The sun dictates our fate.
The planets, inner worlds, on Nova.
Wednesday at 10 on WOUB.
I'm Emily Sanday. Both sets of my grandparents were involved in violent struggles in Africa. One tasked with upholding the British Empire.
All who carry the mark of the Mau Mau must be hunted out so that peace may come to this troubled colony.
The other trying to overthrow it.
People like your grandfather fought against these policies and they demanded independence.
My grandparents' war.
Friday at 9 on WOUB.
Next time on Antiques Roadshow, this is Eleanor. This is a ring with some pretty primates.
This is incredibly rare. I have never seen one like this. My other fellow appraisers have never seen one like this either. It's sort of the bee's knees.
Or the monkey's uncles.
Exactly.
What's this unusual ring worth? Find out next time on Antiques Roadshow from Tucson, Arizona.
Monday at 8 on WOUB.
This is the closest we'll get to an alien on Earth. Octopuses couldn't be more different from us, but is a connection possible?
You look at them and you feel like they're looking back. That's not an illusion. They are looking back.
One man will find out. He'll bring an octopus into his home and introduce her to the family.
Well, now she's filming me.
Hi, Heidi. Wednesday at 8 on WOUB.
Getting room service might take a little longer than usual for some travelers in California this July 4th holiday. And there's another standoff which could wreak havoc with the entertainment industry for at least the next few months. John Larank reports.
Roughly 15,000 employees at 65 major hotels in the Los Angeles area walked off the job Sunday and are on strike. The union representing the workers say they've been in talks since April over issues including an immediate $5 per hour raise and better health care and retirement benefits.
All of this stuff is happening with the backdrop of these hotels making so much money. A lot of them now are making more money in revenue than they were in 2019.
Among the hotels being affected by the strike, the W Hollywood, Beverly Hilton, Sheraton Grand, and the LA Grand.
During the pandemic, we were called essential workers. Now there's no pandemic. Employers think we are not essential anymore, and they think they can run without us, but we all know that's not true.
A Marriott spokesperson released a statement saying it will work toward a fair labor agreement and have protocols in place to keep the doors open. Speaking of strikes,
we're SAG-AFTRA strong in solidarity with the WGA.
Plans for thousands of actors to join the picket line against studios and streaming services are now on hold until July 12th. But if things don't get worked out by then,
you're going to start seeing a big drop-off if the actors take to the streets in new shows on both the traditional networks and the streamers, and you're going to see some of your ceremonies, like the Emmys, go dark.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
When we return, Heinz weighs in on whether or not you should keep your ketchup in the fridge or the pantry. But first, here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
This July 4th, join me, Alfonso Ribeiro, as I host America's National Independence Day celebration, A Capital 4. With Chicago, Boyz II Men, Belinda Carlisle, Renee Fleming, Babyface, Charles Eston, Muppets of Sesame Street, A Beautiful Noise, the Neil Diamond Musical, and the greatest live fireworks display in the USA. Live from the U.S. Capitol, it's A Capital 4. Premieres Tuesday, July 4th, 8, 7 Central on PBS, the PBS app, and PBS YouTube channel.
Here's what's new this month with Passport.
Will, this changes everything.
No, that's every blues singer in the country was doing that.
In the 1960s, hip-hop became our voice.
Draw your arrow to the head!
These and all your favorite shows are available with Passport. Support your PBS station and stream more with Passport on the PBS app.
This is the closest we'll get to an alien on Earth. Octopuses couldn't be more different from us, but is a connection possible?
You look at them and you feel like they're looking back. That's not an illusion. They are looking back.
One man will find out. He'll bring an octopus into his home and introduce her to the family.
Well, now she's filming me.
Hi, Heidi. Wednesday at 8 on WOUB.
Next time on Antique Roadshow, this is Eleanor. This is a ring with some pretty primates.
This is incredibly rare. I have never seen one like this. My other fellow appraisers have never seen one like this either. It's sort of the bee's knees.
Or the monkey's uncles.
Exactly.
What's this unusual ring worth? Find out next time on Antiques Roadshow from Tucson, Arizona.
Monday at 8 on WOUB.
Finally tonight, pass the ketchup, please. Many Americans will celebrate Independence Day with hamburgers and hot dogs and ketchup. And lately, some social media users have been debating how to best store the popular condiment. Ketchup maker Kraft Heinz recently weighed in on the issue, saying in a tweet, ketchup goes in the fridge. A day later, the company asked the public via Twitter poll whether they kept their ketchup chilled or in the pantry. Over 13,000 responded, and more than 63% said the fridge. Nearly 37% said they preferred their ketchup in the cupboard.
Now a quick look at some weather tonight. We're expecting partly cloudy skies, hopefully no more rain. We had a little bit of a pop-up shower just a few minutes ago in the area, but we're looking at that to be the last one of the night. So if you're planning on enjoying some fireworks tonight, just be looking for those partly cloudy skies and the overnight low of about 66, and it's still going to be pretty humid outside. Now we had a low pressure system move over towards the east, and that's leaving us with some clouds a little bit, and that's why we saw those pop-up showers. But in tomorrow, you can see if you look towards Indiana, things are clearing up a little bit, and that's what we're going to see moving into tomorrow. Now we'll see a high of about 86 with a low of about 65, and that 30% chance of showers is just going to be in the early morning, so things will clear up by the late afternoon. So if you're planning on getting out early in the morning, having any parties or getting on the water to enjoy the day, it's looking pretty nice. We've got some cloudy skies through most of the morning, but that'll clear up by the afternoon, and by 3 o'clock, that's when we're looking at this high pressure moving in, and that's going to carry on into Wednesday. So Wednesday's going to be very similar to what we're seeing tomorrow, brief pop-ups of clouds, but it'll be pretty nice for our 4th of July. Now tomorrow evening as well, we'll see a lower % chance of rain, and things will still be pretty muggy outside. So if you're planning on enjoying any fireworks, you are in the clear. So have a great 4th of July.
Good to hear. Thank you, Emily. That does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. For Emily Dietz, I'm Morgan Anderson. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime on WOUB.org or follow us on social media. Have a great night and a happy 4th of July.
Support comes from Snyder Strode Jarrett Financial in Athens, providing investment and